My name is Traci Bartlow, and I'm an artist and an entrepreneur. I am the founder and creative director of Star Child Enterprise. Star Child is the umbrella company for all things creative. I'm a dancer and a choreographer. I've been teaching and mentoring and helping to build the dance and hip hop dance culture in the Bay Area for many years. Hip Hop Be Love is it's a dance workshop of the many different styles of hip hop that I love. It's mainly a dance through time. It shows the connection and the heritage of hip hop and urban dance with its beginnings and foundation in the Harlem Renaissance and in jazz dance from the 1920s. I've loved to dance all my life. I was inspired by the dances and music of the Harlem Renaissance through my mother. My mother was a patron of the arts, Broadway musicals, summer arts camps. One of the most significant memories is a really long time ago, there was a festival in Oakland called the Black Filmmakers Hall of Fame. She would take us to this film festival, and I remember seeing these old black and white movies. The Nicholas brothers, Buck and Bubbles, and these really great tap dancers, Bojangles, and even Catherine Dunham. I have such a vivid memory of seeing this jazz dance and music from that era when I was a kid and just being really intrigued with it and feeling a connection with it. In 2011, I received an award as a Frankie Manning Ambassador of Lindy Hop. Frankie Manning is one of the innovators. It just feels really great to honor this really rich legacy of music and of dance. I see the connections in hip hop. How I came about just being a hip hop dancer is growing up in the Bay. Hip hop was not defined. That phrase was not coined. It was just funk and soul and boogaloo and strutting, what they now call the old school OGs, some of the innovators. I saw this as a child and I danced it. And it wasn't called hip hop then, you know. When I was in high school, I was accepted into the Oakland School of the Arts. I studied jazz and modern and African dance. Actually, African dance is the first dance classes that I had. It gave me a foundation that was strong enough to get me a scholarship. I moved to New York in the mid-'80s and I'm studying at the Ailey School, and I'm invited to the clubs in New York. I hear and see house music and house dance for the first time in my life. Legendary Paradise Garage. So they're like, oh no, just freshen up and put on something that you can dance to. Dancing. And I remember sitting there wanting to dance, but not knowing how to dance to this music. Like the music was moving me, but it was new. I was waiting to hear the popular top 40 songs that was hot on the radio. Each time the DJ would change the track, go to the next song, people was just jacking. And I remember sitting there thinking, I don't know any of these songs. And I was waiting to hear a song that I knew, and it never came. But when I watched those people dancing, they were going off. And it was so amazing to see. It was so powerful, and it was such a communal feeling because the dance floor was packed non-stop. I was hooked. Continue to go to these hip hop and house clubs in New York. At the same time, I'm studying at the Ailey School, and I'm getting this really rich training and history there. Going to those clubs, Union Square, Nails, Kilimanjaro, the Latin Quarter, the Palladium, going to those clubs and connecting with that community of dancers was just as important to me as being on time for ballet bar. I remember packing my bag and going to the club, and I remember watching the dancers and thinking, this the same stuff I saw in Oakland. This is the same boogalooing You know, in New York, they may have called it electric boogie. I would see the hip hop dancers and have this connection to them. It's like, wow, this how so-and-so on my block dance. They remind me of this person. This wonderful intuitive connection to this street dance culture. I became a club head and I would go to all the clubs and have this there really that I met just incredible experience. Those founders and maybe that second generation of house music or house dancers that really took the dance to the next level. Khalif. Like I met Khalif in 89. I just have this memory of him at the Latin Quarter with his locks. I don't know the introduction, but came to know him as well as Stretch and Marjorie, bless her soul, and all those New York cats, you know, to have met them and connected with them and danced in the clubs and a couple of music videos back in the day with them. Then my journey brought me back to the Bay in the early 90s. The only house DJ that was here was DJ Daydon. And this was like 93. I danced house. It was a club called the Birdcage on Telegraph. But the party was called the Beehive. Daydon spinning house and Tokes spinning dance hall. That was the hottest party in the Bay. For a while, I was the only woman that knew, and I was just on fire, had just come from New York and been so immersed in that house, in that club scene. Oh, there was countless women that could get down in New York. And what was really remarkable about New York is that you have a community of dancers that's like, I'm a club dancer. But then you have this whole other community of dancers that's like, I'm a nurse, I'm an office worker, I do other work, I have a family. And they get down too, like get down. The house music and house clubs in New York, it's just the popular dance. When I came back here, it was a while before there were a lot of people that were dancing this house style of dance. The Bay and Oakland always has this party energy. That vibration and that energy is fun and it's high. I find that you can't bring that energy there. In the studio, that's where you learn foundation, technique. Sometimes in my hip hop Be Love class, I create a party atmosphere, open expression that is similar to what you feel in a club. Having studied and worked in African dance companies, contemporary, modern, and jazz, Lindy Hop and swing, hip hop, and house. The same is true across all of those genres. What you learn in class, you have to be able to go to the club and let loose and let yourself be free in the music and in the dance. I have students that learn Lindy Hop from me. I tell them, you have to go to the parties. It's the same with hip hop. You have to take this hip hop I'm teaching you and go to the club and be able to be at a party and dance hip hop. It's the same for Lindy Hop. You have to be able to go to a party and partner with complete strangers and be in the groove. That club atmosphere and that party atmosphere is only there in that party vibration, in that party space. One place that was pivotal, I think I was about 14. I learned about a summer dance program, and it was at a place called Everybody's Creative Arts Center. It was on Telegraph and West Grand. I would catch the 43 bus from like 92nd in East Oakland all the way across town. It was a long bus ride. It was a great program. I studied Afro-Haitian, jazz, modern, we had theater. That center is still happening now on some level. Everybody's Creative Arts Center moved into the Malanga Center for the Arts. That name changed to City Center Dance Theater, and it's still there today. City Center Dance Theater is still in that building. That's my dance home. That's part of my childhood, my teenage years. As an adult, when I moved back to the Bay Area, not only did I teach at City Center Dance Theater, I was invited to be on the board of trustees, advocacy, and that arts organization was pivotal in my growth and my evolution. I think it's great. The Bay is hot. It's the place to be. It would make sense that Philadelphia would come here. The Bay also has a history of innovation, dance legends, and music and cultural legends permeated, worldwide. Oakland has this bold and innovative cultural expression. The old school boogaloo, robotters, strutters that come out of the Bay Area, that's part of hip hop's legacy. Love class. My tagline is love the dance, love yourself. Hip hop be love. Be love is a name that a friend gave me a long time ago, a name that I continue to use and people still call me Be Love. It really speaks to my approach in life and loving yourself, sharing and just being love. That's a healing force that is dynamic and it is needed throughout the world. If more people can show up in the world from that perspective, the world would be a better place. That's my belief. Hip hop, it helps to connect people through music, through dance, social exchange. It helps young people to grow. You learn so much about yourself by dancing. I'm still learning. Through dancing, I have learned a deeper part of my spirituality. Much later in my career, my pastor actually told me, that's not yours, that's God's. How I connect to music through this physical body. It's something that's very spiritual. I dance the best when I let go and I let God. Praise dancing at a 25th anniversary concert at the Paramount Theater. Huge band, mass choir. I was blessed to be a soloist. That is one of my greatest moments in dancing. My spirit connected to all of those people. Every voice in that mass choir and every musician. My pastor was the conductor. Felt like a vessel that was a part of this, something that was so much bigger than me. I'm a part of something that is much bigger than this physical body. I want people to know more about the Be Love way of doing things. I've been through so much in my life and have arrived in a place of well-being, in a place of joy. There is so much trauma in this world. There's so much pain and discontent. I've learned to change my perspective, appreciate every moment. There's sometimes a question posed to interviews, like, what would you say to your younger self? And people often say, like, I would say relax. And I totally get that. You can get so wound up in things that later on, they're not so significant as we may have thought them to be. Being humble and living in gratitude and living fully in every moment. It's for real how I stay sane. I want to live from my highest self, like in every moment.